Welcome. It's Politics with Tony. I'm Tony, very clearly. As you can tell, I'm back in the basement. This is not a beautiful place. That's okay. We're not here for a fashion show. We're here for politics. So, I got hair on my... Ugh. I obviously wasn't prepared. Anyway, so I talked about how these episodes would be a little bit shorter than my old podcast. It was a strictly audio podcast. So, of course, it was probably a little easier for me to just keep them long and whatever, but now that they're video, I'm kind of trying to cut to the chase and say my point, kill the video, that way I don't lose the interest of the viewer. So today's, I've got two subjects I kind of want to just brush over, talk about, and throw out some ideas and opinions. The first one being the cops in Compton on Saturday that were shot, and then protesters showed up to block the emergency rooms. And then I want to talk about Cuties. I'm sure we've all heard about the Netflix special that just went on Netflix. Some people have been checking it out, talking about it. You've been seeing the posts, so we'll talk about it a little bit. But first, I do want to deal with the Compton issue. That one kind of really irritating. Most of us that, I back the blue, 100%. I support the law enforcement. I don't support the ones that abuse their power. Absolutely, I don't. But the thing is I do understand that it's individuals. It's not, an entire group, or one collective type of person. It is individuals. And I think that is lost in translation quite a bit throughout a lot of these issues. So what happened, okay, so Saturday was the Metro Blue Line station. A man, I guess, just walked up, saw two deputies. It was two deputies, a male and a female. I had their names. I didn't write them down. Their names are readily available to find. I did get an update on their condition about an hour ago, so we'll talk about that too. But what happened on Saturday, a man walked up to the vehicle and began shooting. Multiple shots through both victims. They were rushed to the emergency room, and the gentleman that shot them was actually still at large for a while. I think, if I'm correct, they may have gotten him, but I'm not 100%, so don't quote me on that one. But what did happen was once they got there, okay, now I wrote this down, so you're going to see me looking down and reading a little bit. At the hospital, the BLM, I guess they caught wind of it, and they beat the emergency team there. So they were blocking the emergency room entrance. They were chanting things. And here's some of the things that I wrote down as far as what they were saying and chanting. Okay, there's a lot of chantings about kill the police, death to the police. Somebody got up and actually said, I want to deliver a message to the family of the pigs. I hope they fucking die. And excuse the language, I'm not bleeping things out. It needs to be uncensored so that you understand that this is what's happening, okay? Y'all gonna die one by one. This ain't gonna stop. These are the things that happened on Saturday. Now, what's funny is now we've got NFL players and things like that having their BLM stickers and their justice for, Jacob Blake crap all over them. Look, I don't care. I don't actually care at all if you like or dislike the cops. I prefer it if you like them, of course. But I don't really care. It's when you do that. It is when you decide that it's okay to block an emergency room entrance because you just don't like the person that was hurt. You have lost your rights as a mature adult, and you probably just need to get chucked in jail, period. That is the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. I would love to see the rap sheet or any complaints that were filed against the two deputies that were shot. And I want to see, did they do anything that was negative towards, minorities, blacks, anything like that? I want to know. I'm just curious. Because if they did, maybe. But they don't deserve to die. So these are the same people. These are the same people that say even if George Floyd had a terrible record, he didn't mean he deserved to die. So what the fuck means that these cops deserve to die? Like what? Where? What exactly? Please, somebody comment and tell me why they deserve to die. What did they do that warranted this? Nothing. The same people that say that Jacob Blake didn't deserve to get shot up, the same people that say that George Floyd didn't deserve to die, or Breonna Taylor, the same people want these cops to die over nothing. It blows my mind. They did nothing. They were in a vehicle, sitting by the station. It was probably some type of patrol, and there they go, just getting shot. And that just, it blows my mind. The same people, I've repeated it now, but the exact same people that, no, George Floyd didn't deserve to die. Okay, these cops don't deserve to die either. And yet you've got people that are chanting, kill the police. Somebody actually wants to tell the families of these cops that they deserve, that they hope they fucking die. Verbatim, I hope they fucking die. Can I do that? Can I go to some individual that I just don't like, and if he gets hurt and he's in the hospital, and if he's black, I hope he fucking dies? Would I not be labeled a racist? Would I not be labeled ignorant? Would I not be labeled all these nasty, nasty, lovely things? I would absolutely be labeled those things. So why is it that they think it's okay to do it? And I'm telling you, they're defended. On a regular basis, they're being defended. And it's killing me. It is, I hate it. I'm almost, there's part of me that almost is glad that I live in Nebraska where this doesn't happen. Because if it happened close to me, I would be doing something about it. 100%. I've got no problems doing something about it, and I've got friends, veteran friends I know would join me. So if you're watching this and you're one of my veteran friends, I guarantee you, I know, you join me in dealing with that crap, because I don't stand for it. That is pathetic. So, how sad is that? How absolute sad is that? It just kills me. So I wanted that story to be out there. The update real quick, just so you know, about an hour ago I read that the male, forgot his name, well, I'm not good with names, I'd have to write it down. He is now in stable condition. He's been awake, he's been able to talk. He's been doing much better. It looks like a good recovery. The female, on the other hand, it's a little bit more rough for her right now. She's in and out of consciousness. One of the bullets went through her jaw and actually broke it. So they're having a hard time with their tongue. They don't know if her tongue's going to be savable or not. She's getting ready to go back through surgery. She's in pretty decently critical condition, but she's fighting, and a lot of cops are supporting these two deputies that were shot. So there you have it. That's just some updates, and I will bring you more updates in later podcasts as I get those updates. I want to move on now. So we talked about Cuties. Now, I think most of us understand what that is. It is a story on Netflix about an 11-year-old who... Now, this is the general consensus. This is something I've noticed. Okay, I've got some liberal friends who've already watched this, and of course they're defending the show. I don't get it. Anyway, some people have made some good points about the show. So the idea of the show is that it follows an 11-year-old who kind of is struggling with the idea of popularity or defiance of her parents. And I hate that I cannot remember the ethnic background of the parents, or the nationality, I think the nationality. Because they were from a different country and they moved. There's an issue with how her parents are and everything, so she kind of goes in this defiant mode, and then there's this group of mean girls who she tries to be cool with, so she does what they do, and it's basically trying to get in on this twerk team, his dance team, where they dance like twerking, and the sexual stuff you'd see from people like the Kardashians, or I don't even know about the Kardashians, I guess, but like Cardi B or Lexi Pantera. Or what's the one that everybody loves? I don't even remember now. Why is that one leaving me? Oh God, Anaconda. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Nicki Minaj. There we go. Well, anyway, you got all these, and that's what these girls are doing. Okay, that's what this show is showing, and it's showing these girls who are dancing provocatively and then twerking and touching themselves in places they shouldn't, in the private parts. That the camera's focuses in on their hips moving and their butts shaking, and the way that they're dressed, the way that they touch themselves, the way that they're dancing, it is extremely sexual in nature. Okay? It is. I got to see some chunks of it from people who were sharing it, saying, see, this isn't that bad, when it... Sorry, but it is. What I don't get to, first of all, is how there's a complete miss on the parents that are allowing this to happen. So, for those of you that don't know this, there were 650 auditions for this show, or movie, whatever it is. 650 auditions. That means there were 650 little girls around the age of 11 doing exactly what you see on that show. There's a massive chunk of people out there that think that this is acceptable behavior. Now, look, let me just say that, yes, in my opinion, that is wrong, period. It's wrong. I don't like it. I think it's wrong. Have there been other movies in our past that have had the same sort of slight themes? In some cases, yes, okay? But the idea that the show shows the pressure on little girls who are trying to, they're trying to climb a social ladder. It shows how the struggle is for women. The only way to be accepted or taken seriously is to do things like this, which that's a lie. That's wrong. The woman who created this, she's a hell of a name. It's a great looking name. I just don't know how to say it. But it was her. This is the person that created this, the director. She believe I'm assuming she's some sort of decent feminist, because these are the sort of things that she talks about. The premise, I wrote this down just kind of as I was listening to things. The premise is to show the pressure on young girls, saying they see their sexuality as a way to be cool or be accepted or advance socially. YouTube, IG, TikTok are good examples. Okay, now that's a little bit more understandable as far as the context, but does it make it okay? No. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. First and foremost, that is not the general consensus of how things go. Okay, I understand that there are some terrible men on the planet that do sexualize women and little girls in such a way that it makes them feel this way. But again, this is sort of that just because one does it doesn't mean they all do it sort of thing. It's harsh to see it to say it in that direction. But yes, there are men that do that, but not all men do this. There are men who are fighting against these kind of things. So pointing fingers at men saying that that's the problem is wrong, and that's what I see as far as a hidden sort of not agenda, a hidden message in this, that men suck, and because this is what they've forced women to do or little girls to do, and everybody's like, well, how is it about pedophilia then? It doesn't have to be specifically about pedophilia for a pedophile to watch it and enjoy the hell out of it. That is what we're talking about. It's not the story, because the story, I guess, in a way, that is a message to send. It may not be the best message, I think. It may not be that great of a message, but it's still a message to send. Isn't quite directed at pedophilia, but who watches it and who's going to take notice of it, who's going to enjoy it? Pedophiles. Now, we all understand, and this is another thing too, pornography has kind of screwed up sex, like modern sex is just not what it used to be. There's a lot of feeling lost in it. People want the sex, the gratification of sex before things like marriage and children. I can't bitch. I've had kids before marriage. I did. One of them was an accident. We were just enjoying ourselves as teens. This is a thing, and I understand that. But pornography puts expectations in the mind of, yes, the target demographic most of the time in porn is men, but it's women too. There are standards that I think people start expecting after watching porn too much, right? So that's what this seems like it may start promoting is a higher expectation for little girls. Let's use my 7-year-old's example. She's 7. She's on TikTok. She's a cutie. She doesn't do anything like shit on Cutie. I called her Cutie right before I said that too. Anyway, she's awesome. She's a sweet little girl. She always takes these little stupid videos and just has a blast with them. They're so much fun to watch. She's such a weirdo with them. And she likes that kind of stuff. Now, people would be like, oh, you have your 7-year-old on TikTok. Well, sure, but I monitor first things first. I monitor the missus. She monitors. She helps. We monitor her content. We monitor who tries to follow her. We monitor who tries to talk to her. It's been a while since she's posted, but that's what we were doing. And then on top of that, like I said, it's very non-sexual. The minute we saw anything that she tried to put out there that's a little racy, we talked to her about it. She's never done it, but we said that that's what we would do. If I were to show her Cuties, if I were to let her watch the show or movie, whatever it is, and she would see these little girls doing that, she would see this, what makes you think she wouldn't try? What makes you think that? Like the atmosphere now with children, a lot more on the phones, a lot more on social media. They're a little bit more socially aware. But the problem is they don't understand the social aspect of life 100%, but they have the awareness of what's happening. So they're seeing adults do this, and of course they kind of want to copy it. Fine. I hate that, but that's sort of why, as parents, we kind of monitor what they watch, what they enjoy. The bigger issue here, though, is these are kids now. You see kids doing it, and suddenly it's going to be much more acceptable in the kid's mind. I really firmly believe that that's exactly what my little girl would do. If she saw it, she'd be like, well, I want to try that on my TikTok. And then we would have to get rid of her TikTok. But another point to be made about all of this is that as 11-year-olds, or any age group close to 11, okay, with what these girls do, this is not a time for that. I'm sorry, it's not. And as adults, we're not taking rights away from them. No, we're simply saying this is not the time for that. You probably should be more focused on your life in general, like friends and school and family and learning things and growing up and learning responsibilities. I'm not saying that that's something that they're like aiming to do. I get it, but there's more. There's different things in life than let's figure out how I can shape my ass correctly at 11 years old. No, just no. I'm not telling anyone here how to parent, but I am going to say this one thing. This shows that parents probably need to be a little bit more careful. With that issue that happened in New York with I think it was an 11-year-old boy that decided to dress like a girl and then do some sexy striptease looking dance at a strip club in front of, cross-dressers, I guess. I'm not 100% sure the label I'm supposed to give them, so, I don't like playing that game anyway. Men dressed as women, or men that wanted to be women, I don't know. Either way, they were doing that and cheering them on, and people, and I gotta say this because it's a political podcast, people on the left cheered this, okay? People on the left are telling us that we need to apologize to the director of Cuties because, well, the premise isn't about pedophilia. Fine, then it's not. But that does not mean that pedophiles are going to see it that way, or they're not going to watch it and enjoy it, and now we're going to have little kids that are going to want to copy this. This is what this is going to bring, period. It's just what it is. And what I don't understand, too, is, so the right, the Republicans, they're the one trying to push against Cuties. Okay, you had Ted Cruz actually sending a letter to, I believe it was McConnell, talking about how we need to investigate it because this is wrong. Let's do that. Let's investigate, because the idea was they want to investigate like directors, writers, things like that, to see if they violated any federal laws against pedophilia and that fun category. Okay, and that's, I think, what they're going to push for, right? So what is the left doing? They're not doing a goddamn thing. They haven't said anything. And now here's what surprises me: the left is the one that decided to cry about that song, "Baby, It's Cold Outside." "Baby, It's Cold Outside" was offensive to women. But this is okay. What? I think that the left doesn't care about kids because kids can't vote yet, and that's also why I see them now. They're like, kids are fucking stupid. But let's bump the voting age down to 16. That's the leftist mentality. They're not old enough to drink. They're not old enough to smoke. But you're damn right. You can vote. You can't make up your own decisions. What? Yeah, Kamala Harris, Kamala, what? Dumbass Harris. I don't even care. Standing in front of people saying basically kids are stupid, and that's why they put kids in college dorms and things like that, because kids are stupid. And then literally shortly later, a 16-year-old asked her during the debates, do you think it would be okay for 16-year-olds to vote? And she's like, well, let's talk about that, because I think so. Wait. You think they're stupid so they can't make up their own minds, but you can let them vote. That tells me that it's really all it is about an agenda. They're going to push their narrative onto the children, and because they're such squishy, soft sponges that soak in everything, specifically at college, where colleges are very indoctrinating on liberal, leftist, Marxist ideologies. Most of them are, I'm sorry, but they are. Look into this. Yeah, of course, let's bump it down for that, because then they'll vote. Then they're going to start giving a shit about kids. But until then, they don't care. And it's very clear that they don't give a shit. I mean, look at the abortion clinics. I'm sorry, yes, I'm anti-abortion. You got people that were like, well, what about health reasons? It takes 2%. 2% of all abortions are for rape and incest. There's an even smaller percentage of complications. The rest are basically, I just don't want this kid. I can't handle it financially. The other kids will be jealous. I didn't like the guy I fucked. Ugh. What? And this is the thing that's not only celebrated or defended, it's celebrated on the left. They don't care about kids. It is becoming more obvious over time that the left does not care about children, neither does the media. I mean, the media is bringing the story to attention, okay? But they are not, they like have the media, there's media outlets that actually are defending Cuties, okay? And of course, I looked into this. I was curious because I always see this too. So we're going to go back to the first story when I was talking about the two cops that were shot. look into this yourself, okay? Look up any black man that was shot by a white cop or a white man or woman. It doesn't matter. The sex doesn't matter, but the race. Look at the race. They'll always do it. If a black person is a victim in a shooting or a stabbing or anything like that, they will put that race. 100% they're always going to do it. There was no race told from the shooter in the two. I only read 2 stories. I got that, but I read 2 stories based on this immediately after it happened, and not one time did I see anything about race. They knew his name, but they didn't say his race. But if he was fucking, I'm sorry, but if he was white, they would have said it. And specifically would have said it if it was 2 black cops, or at least one of the cops was black. They would have done it, but they didn't. Now, I understand that there may be media outlets that are talking about his race, but that's something I'm telling you. It's not about race to me. It's not. But it is about the way the media does this, okay? They all the time, black man, black woman, whatever, shot by a white cop, shot by a white man, shot by a white woman, whatever. Always use race, but they will not do it on the opposite. They won't. I don't see it very often at all. I will see it on occasion, but a lot of times when I see that, when I do see it, it's not a mainstream media outlet. It's usually some quieter outlet, you know, like Vox or Breitbart, which I guess Breitbart's getting pretty popular, but Breitbart sometimes. Now let's remember that a lot of these they're bullshit sites. I'm sorry, but they are. Like, I mean, a lot of them just remind me of Babylon Bee, and if you know what Babylon Bee is, you understand what I'm saying, okay? But this is the problem I see with the media, is they're allowing a lot of this to happen. They're burying reports when they should be reporting more. That's what irritates me the most. I'm not going to tell you that it's a black man. We'll see. I don't care about the race. I'm just telling you about the story and the fact that they didn't mention it, but they'll mention it any other time if the victim is black, or if the shooter's just white. This is where the media has been playing a lot of people for a long time. This is a great way to show it right here. More lies, of course, and I will continue to monitor a lot of this stuff as it comes out. I've been curious. Again, like I was telling you, there's a letter that was written from Ted Cruz to, I believe it was Mitch McConnell, who is the leader in the Senate. He basically said, this is what the show is, and I think we need to investigate for this. Now, I haven't seen a decision on that quite yet, but I'm curious, and I will be looking into it. And notice, by the way, real quick, I'm going to rewind one more time for the shooting and then the blocking of the emergency room. Notice I didn't say anything about how the left was silent, because they weren't. I can't say they were. You got Biden, Harris, I believe even Pelosi, all put out statements about how wrong it was and how they hope for justice. And they don't hope for justice. I didn't really know if I saw that in Harris or Pelosi's. I think I saw it in Biden's. But Harris and Pelosi were just basically saying, like, prayers to the family. Don't have anything against that. Not talking shit. What I am saying, though, is this would be the one time you'd see that from some of these individuals, because, hey, they currently care. Currently. Whatever happens in an election, that'll tell you how much they're going to care after that. But that's something I just wanted you to know. I did see that they have said something. Trump put out quite a bit. Matter of fact, his ending line on one of it was like, if the cops die, that the guy deserves death penalty. Yeah, walking up and just randomly shooting cops for no reason? That sounds pretty good to me. You just randomly decided that they should die? We can randomly decide that you can. I'm not against that, I guess. But, again, fair trial. That is another thing that we'll talk about in later podcasts, is the right to a fair trial. That is why I don't support just running around killing pedophiles, although I will absolutely defend my children and kill if I need to, if anybody tries it. So I'm not advocating for not killing pedophiles, but I am saying that there is a reason why that might not be the smartest move. But anyway, I'm digressing quite a bit. Thank you guys for listening. Again, if you didn't like what you heard, tell me. If you did like what you heard, tell me. If you think I need to improve on anything, tell me. I know that this wall is the most boring thing on the planet. There's lots of background noise. I've got an AC down here and people are walking upstairs. Till I come up with a little bit of extra cash and I can get the place where I can just do this in quiet, maybe put some music in, have a big mic in my face and some headphones in like most of these podcasters do. Yeah, sure I will. But until then, kind of stuck just staring at my phone in my basement. So anyway, but please, yes, let me know if there's something I can improve. Anything like that. If I made some mistakes, tell me. Anything though. But please, if you see this and you did like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. Get my name out there a little bit more. I'm just trying to see if I can, I don't know, just get the word out some more. So anyway, y'all have a good one. This is Politics with Tony.